Springfield businessman and county board chairman Andy Van Meter has been named to lead what will amount to a private effort to raise $8.8 million for minimal repairs to the Illinois Executive Mansion. In our conversation with Van Meter at the mansion last week, he indicated the figure was expected to be much higher. An initial public campaign kickoff is scheduled for Wednesday at the mansion, and later this month, a report is expected on long-term repairs, both to stabilize the mansion and to restore it to its historic look.
It's being a citizen of Springfield and seeing the, the governor's mansion turn into essentially a dilapidated property. And as a matter of civic pride, I think a lot of people in the city of Springfield feel that something needs to be done about it.
The theme of the campaign is the People's House. Van Meter explained it would be a statewide campaign involving some of the state's largest corporations, but that organizers also would be looking to individual small donations, perhaps through schools. All of the work will be privately funded. Van Meter said no state tax dollars would be sought.
The Rounders are determined that this be the People's House. They want the fundraising and the donations to be broad-based. We realize that there will need to be large contributions from interested citizens in the state, but Mrs. Rounder is really keen to have a very broad base of participation, and everyone's donation is welcome to. But in the first instance, what we want to do is reach out to the public. The phrase Mrs. Rounder uses over and over again, the governor as well. This is the people's house, and they really want the people to feel a part of this house, to feel that it's their house, and to participate in this restoration. The contribution may not be significant in terms of dollars, but what's significant is that the people understand this is their building, and that they take pride in the building, and that we as a community, as a state community, take pride in the building and recognize our responsibilities to maintain it for future generations.
A walk through the mansion shows deterioration that is clearly visible, including water damage in the basement and water spots in ceilings, peeled paint, an elevator that is no longer functional, and work that needs to be done to bring the building up to compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. On the exterior, crumbling bricks, gutters needs replacing, and just a general overall roof repair will need to be completed.
Our worst problem is water damage. That is at least partly because of the roof. The roof's been patched several times. The patch we have on right now is holding, but the water damage damaged the bedrooms on the top floor. You'll see some evidence of that still. It damaged the Lincoln bed. It damaged, and then we've also had some damage to the foundation that appears to be water damage. We had some flooding in the basement. The flooding ruined the elevator, so this public building is currently inaccessible to handicapped citizens in the state.
The private fundraising campaign is scheduled to begin Wednesday with a cocktail party at the Executive Mansion that will feature 3 governors, including sitting Governor Bruce Rauner, former Governor Jim Edgar, and former Governor Jim Thompson. The campaign is expected to last several months, an initial campaign goal of $8.8 million, but the final cost of repairs won't be known until an architectural report is completed later this month.
The legislators say, "Oh, well, we're going to come over with $500,000." You're not going to turn it down.
I think they will turn it down. I think if their legislators want to make personal contributions, that'll be very welcome, and the legislators can all help introduce the Mrs. Rauner and the trustees to their communities and to people who can help raise some private funds in their communities. But the Rounders are really determined that this be done with private money. Yeah.
You grade school classes 1,000 pennies for the mansion.
That's exactly a project. That's exactly a metaphor that Mrs. Rounder used to explain the kind of community involvement she'd like to see. She would welcome $2 contributions from a third grade class. That she really wants to emphasize that this is not a gated prison for the governor. This is the people's house. The people are welcome here. It's the people's responsibility, and it's the people's opportunity to step up and put the house in order.